Little House on the Prairie won't be seen tonight, so we can bring you a very special episode of The Gen X Files. Welcome to The Gen X Files. I'm Jim.
I'm Adam.
And today's show is all about Hot Wheels. Chicka-pow.
We're covering toys for December because toys are awesome.
Yeah, it's our Toys Story month because it's clever.
Yeah, Toy Story.
It's apostrophe S.
Yeah.
Because it's their story.
It's going to be a fun month. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Today's story is about Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels. Take yourself back to 1968.
Ooh.
April 1st, Lev Landau, Russian physicist and one of the founders of quantum mechanical theory, dies in a car accident.
Or did he?
I don't know. It was April 1st. It might have been a joke.
Maybe he went into another quantum realm.
Oh, that's very possible. That is very possible. April 1st, also on April 1st, the Ford Mustang 428 Cobra Jet is introduced.
Or was it?
No, it was.
Okay.
With 410 horsepower, it was one of the most powerful muscle cars built at the time. It cost less than $3,500, but now sells for more than $100,000.
Yeah, well, $3,500 was a lot for a car back in '68.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was
buy a
high-end.
house for like $3,500
Yeah.
back in '68.
That's true. That is very true. April 26th, the nuclear weapon Boxcar is tested at the Nevada test site in the biggest detonation of Operation Crosstie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Odd. How does that tie in?
Boxcar.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, I struggled to find three things to talk about at the
Cars.
beginning.
Yeah. Well, that was a good one.
May 18th, Mattel's Hot Wheels toy cars are introduced. Yeah. It was so much fun. I loved Hot Wheels when I was young.
You know, the greatest thing about Hot Wheels was the orange track.
Yep.
And the greatest thing about the orange track was we never really used them for the Hot Wheels. We just used them to beat the crap out of each other. Because they were so good at weapons.
Yeah,
Oh, that
they
thwack.
would whip really hard.
Oh,
yeah.
that thwack, baby. Those orange thwacks.
Hot Wheels starts with toy designer Elliot Handler. Handler was born in Chicago in 1916.
Do you know if he's related to Chelsea Handler?
He is not.
Oh, bummer. That would have been neat.
I'm pretty sure we would know because he created like all the most famous toys you can think of.
Yes, it would be one of the toys would have been called the Chelsea.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of handlers in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're all related. He studied industrial design at the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California. In 1929, he met his future wife, Ruth Moscow, at a dance for teenagers.
Yeah, Ruth Moscow from the Moscows.
He was like 13 when he met his wife. They were married for a very, very long time.
From the South Side Moscows. It was a crazy family.
True. They later married and had two children, a daughter, Barbara, who was the namesake of Barbie dolls.
Nice they didn't name it the Barbara doll. Oh, my God. Mommy, I want my Barbara doll. She comes with glasses and a
It would have
pantsuit.
sold as well.
The Barbara doll.
And they had a son, Kenneth, who was the namesake of the Ken doll.
Ew.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
gross.
Isn't that weird?
Ugh. Oh, poor kids. Hey, guess what, kids? Daddy named lovers after you. Doll lovers. So from the now until the end of time, because these will be the most popular toys in the history of the United States of America, everybody will think that you guys are effing. Ken and Barbie, the effing sibs from the Handler family.
That was an exact quote from Elliot Handler about Ken and Barbie.
It was the press release, I think.
While a struggling art student and designer of light fixtures, Handler partnered with Harold Matson to design a realistic-looking miniature piano that received roughly 300,000 orders.
Matt Matson.
Yeah. However, they mispriced the product, losing 10 cents on each one produced.
That's a lot. That's like $30,000.
That is not a good start to a business.
No, and that's 1968's $30,000.
That wasn't even 1968. That was like 1950 something.
That's like 10 houses.
It was, yeah. He lost his shorts, so to speak.
All right.
Yeah. Matt Matson and Elliot Handler would form the company Mattel Creations in 1945, getting the name from Matt and L in the Elliot, making it Mattel. See how that worked?
No, please.
Okay.
Can you explain it to me?
So his first name's Matt,
Uh-huh.
and Elliot's first name is
I
Elliot.
thought his last name was Matson.
It is, but his name, they called him Matt. It was Harold, but they called him Matt.
Well, the name's not. It's Matson. So it should have been Matson
Right,
Elliot.
they took it from Matt Matson.
I know. I know. I know. This is getting tedious.
This is. The company began selling picture frames and later dollhouse furniture made out of unused picture frames. Mattson sold his share and stake to the handlers due to poor health following the following year when Handler's wife Ruth took over. Oh, sorry, it wasn't in the 50s, it was actually in the 40s, 1945.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of money.
That was like they could have bought like aircraft carriers with the 10 cents they sold on each piano.
And honestly, how much are they selling those pianos for? Probably 60 cents or something.
Probably not even that.
Or 20 cents
honest,
or 30
yeah.
cents.
In 1947, the company had its first hit toy, a ukulele called Yukadoodle.
Okay. Clever. Yukadoodle.
Yeah, it was 1947.
right.
It's a different time.
Everybody plays the ukulele. Remember when everybody played the ukulele, like in the early aughts? All the hipsters
It
and
just
the ukes.
it was huge. Became huge.
Everybody had a uke.
Everybody wanted to be Izzy. Izzy, I don't know how to say his last name.
Who?
The big Hawaiian guy that did
Oh.
the cover of the Rainbow song. Yeah. Yeah, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That's what it is. Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Izzy something. Yes. Mattel started advertising on TV when it became the first sponsor of the Mickey Mouse Club TV series.
Smart move, Matt L.
Apparently they fixed their bad mispricing problems and actually got better marketing.
You learn from your mistakes.
The Barbie doll debuted on March 9th, 1959, going on to become the company's best-selling toy in history.
Yeah. Look at
And-
her. She's gorgeous.
I'm pretty sure it's the best-selling toy of all time.
Well, yeah. I mean, and it ruined women forever.
Yeah. Well, that's how actually Barbara looked. How dare you?
Barbara was deformed.
Barbara couldn't really eat anything
Yeah.
because her
Barbara
pants
had
would
a
explode.
2-inch waist.
Yeah.
And both, strangely enough, both Barbara and Ken did not have genitalia.
Yeah, smooth. Smooth.
As a baby's bottom.
God.
But with no anything.
All right. Handler holds credit for developing the first talking doll, Chatty Cathy, using a pull-string talking mechanism, revolutionizing the toy industry.
And ruining the lives of parents everywhere.
I'm Chatty Cathy. Please be my friend. I'm Chatty Cathy.
Hours and hours. You have to wonder how many dads left because of Chatty
Yeah,
Cathy.
well, Dad's going after packs of cigarettes.
Mattel continued to develop a number of talking toys, including Chatty Baby, Tiny Chatty Baby, and Charmin' Chatty.
Really?
Yeah.
Chatty Baby sounds awful, by the way.
It
And
sounds
then
even
Tiny
worse.
Chatty Baby's worse because you can't find it. Just chatting away. We used to have this, I don't know what it was. It was some sort of stuff thing for Christmas that sang some song or something that was really annoying.
Back in the 70s? Like back in the day?
No. This
Or
was probably back in the 2000s or whatever.
like a Furby or something?
No, it was like a Christmas decoration or something, and it would
okay.
like sing.
It
if
would
you
do-
press
yeah.
a button or whatever. But it would go off like at random
randomly?
times around the year, and you just
Yeah.
hear like,
Oh, God.
"I'm gonna kill you."
Right, okay. It
Well,
would-
the last part,
you-
maybe
you-
I just heard
you
it.
improv'd a little bit, yeah,
But
yeah.
no, but it would go off. It was so creeps.
I don't like talking dolls. I've never liked talking dolls.
I had one doll that I
I-
loved. It was the Ed Grimley talking.
Oh, well, yeah. I bet that.
I must say, it was so good, and it looked just like it.
Mattel also made toys for cartoon favorites such as Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig, and for television characters such as Herman Munster and Mr. Ed.
I had a chatty Bugs Bunny
Oh, yeah?
that had like
Bugs Bunny.
a plastic head and a body that was mushy,
plush or
not
a-
plush, but like
Like a
fabric.
Oh, okay.
And then you would
Pull it. and-
What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc?
and then you'd be like,
Neep, neep, neep.
you try to get it to change because you get sick of saying the same thing, so you keep pulling it during the
Would it,
pull.
oh, it would have different things?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
Yeah, I took it right at Albuquerque.
it was
Nice,
great.
nice.
I loved it to death. I literally loved it to death.
Right. Oh, did you
would-
murdered it?
No, it just wouldn't speak anymore. I just
You murdered it. You
did.
did, yeah.
didn't mean to.
The 19th...
I was like Lenny from Of Mice and Men. I just pet it too hard until it died.
Wow. Well, I'm not even going to go there, Jim.
Tell me about the rabbits, Adam.
The 1965 talking doll Baby Cheryl was named after the handler's first grandchild, and the Todd doll in the Barbie line was named for their grandson, as well as Alan, Ken's friend, who was named after Barbara's husband.
Okay, it's getting complicated now. There's going to be a Barbie key party pretty soon.
Her husband got named for the friend. Not for the husband, but for the friend.
Hey, they didn't like him very much. His in-laws weren't. They're like, look, you're going to be the friend. Well, why am I not the husband? You know why. You know exactly why you're not the husband.
It would always...
Ken's the husband. No, not Ken. Who is it?
Yeah, Ken.
Ken's the husband.
Yeah.
Well, the boyfriend. Did they ever get married?
Well, they never got. I don't...
There's probably a dream wedding.
They did. I'm pretty
something.
sure they did. Yeah.
Well, they had to. Because they can't live in sin in the Barbie's dream house.
Well, what are they going to do?
And somebody's got to drive Barbie's Corvette because Lord knows she can't drive it. She's a woman.
Okay. Handler was primarily responsible for 2 additional Mattel product lines. In 1966, Mattel introduced smaller dolls called Little Kittles.
The names for these things.
Handler claimed he wanted them to resemble little children in neighborhoods across America.
Okay.
They were sculpted by doll artist Martha Armstrong Hand. Kittles were a great success and continue to be produced in different versions until the early 1970s.
And they always said they're sculpted by hand. By hand.
Yeah, Armstrong Hand, yeah. Mm-hmm. She was very famous
They
doll
said that a
designer.
lot,
Yeah,
though.
they did.
That was
They
the
did.
thing, and they loved it.
In 1968, Handler came up with Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels!
Yeah, Handler discovered his son Kenneth playing with Matchbox cars and decided to create a line to compete with Matchbox.
Hey, what do you got there? Matchbox cars. Those look cool. I'm going to rip those off and make my own version.
Well, he did rip them off, but he made them better. So much
Yeah.
better.
Well, I mean, he made, yeah. Look, I will give Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels took the Matchbox to the next level.
Of course it did.
Because I love my Matchboxes.
Yeah.
The Hot Wheels, there was a lot more to do with your Hot Wheels.
The Matchbox toy car line started in 1953. There were tiny die-cast toys of real cars, trucks, and utility vehicles. They were made with metal wheels and didn't really roll very well. Hot Wheels were originally conceived by Handler to be more hot rod.
Yeah.
Like customized, modified, or even characterized of fantasy cars, often with big rear tires, superchargers, flame paint jobs, outlandish proportions, hood blowers, and pretty much anything you can think of.
Yeah.
Most of the models were not real cars. They were
Everything that
just
you
whatever.
can do to customize your cars in Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
that's Hot Wheels.
That's Hot Wheels. It is true. He began producing the cars with assistance from fellow engineer Jack Ryan. The first line of Hot Wheels cars, known as the original Sweet 16, was manufactured in 1968.
It is crazy that Jack Ryan was able to help create these toys when he was a secret agent
Yeah.
for the CIA that whole time.
I understand you have a hard time between fiction and reality.
Was this his
I get
cover?
it. Yeah. He was an engineer for Hot Wheels. Yeah.
Wow, that's a cool cover.
Yeah. The original Sweet 16 were called the Redline series, named for the tires which had a red pinstripe on their sides.
Yeah.
There were 16 castings released, 11 of them designed by Harry Bentley Bradley with assistance from Handler and Ryan. Harry Bentley Bradley had a fascinating life, so we're just going to talk about him for a minute. Bradley, originally from La Jolla, California, grew up in Waban, Massachusetts.
Whoop, whoop. I grew up in La Jolla.
La Jolla,
And I
awesome.
was born in Massachusetts.
Ah, not in Waban.
I don't think so. I think I was born in Boston.
Waban? I don't know how to say it.
It's probably Waben.
Probably
Knowing
Waben,
those Boston.
yeah.
Actually, knowing Boston is probably Worchamson.
Worcestershire. Yeah. At age 14, he contracted polio and became totally paralyzed from the waist down.
Ah, that's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible. But because of it, he spent 7 months at Boston Children's Hospital learning how to live with his paralysis, and he spent most of his free time drawing, benefiting from the time he had previously spent taking classes at Boston's Museum of Fine Arts.
Crazy. My third grade teacher had polio, and he was in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
I had teachers that had polio.
I'm pretty sure I did, too. I don't think they were in a wheelchair. I had one that had a cane, but I don't think they were fully paralyzed.
Fully polioized.
Fully polioized. Ouch. Okay.
Wait, too soon, really? We used to have that eradicated, but I think it's back. Thank
No,
you,
yeah.
anti-vaxxers.
Yeah.
Ow!
Again,
Hot Wheels.
Too soon and too late. Harry attended the College of Worcester which he wrote to General Motors, asking about job opportunities, and they responded by suggesting the industrial design program at Pratt Institute. While studying, Bradley started his own business as a custom design consultant and contributed to various publications such as Street Rodder, Customs Illustrated, and Rod and Custom.
Rod and Custom.
It was a big thing in the early 60s to hot rod your car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it still is today, but
is,
it's more like the Fast and Furious-izing your car.
Right. Bradley joined General Motors during his last semester at Pratt and moved to Detroit in July 1962.
Isn't it funny that ever since we've had cars, we've always had a car culture that likes to soup them up?
Well, yeah, you customize.
I call them the soupers
Okay.
because they soup them up.
They eat a lot of soup.
I don't know. I'm not invited to their meetings because I'm not a super.
Super soups? Oh, you're not. Yeah,
I haven't
that's
souped
true.
up any cars.
It was against company policy to publish designs for Hot Rod and Custom magazines while working for GM, so Harry continued to publish his design under the false name Mark Fadner.
Okay. Good one.
Soon after joining General Motors, Bradley met the Alexander brothers and developed a relationship that would result in more than 10 Bradley-designed custom cars over the next 8 years, including the 1964 Alexa, credited by Alexander Brothers to Designer X, and the 1967 Dodge Diora, initially designed in 1964.
Dodge Diora.
Yeah.
Remember what that looks like?
Yeah.
Do you? Oh, okay. It's not a real car.
No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. It was.
That's cool looking.
The Diora was like a weird open bed,
yeah. It was like an open bed van.
like Volkswagen. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. That was an awesome car.
Yeah, it was super weird looking, but it was really cool. Yeah, I saw actual pictures of the Diora, the original Diora. They weren't produced for very long, and they were very heavy in the supers, like to really soup them up. That was the big thing.
Nice. Soup up your Diora.
At GM, Bradley undertook a fellowship study program for a master's degree at Stanford University. In 1966, after only 4 years at GM, Bradley moved to Mattel, which allowed him to return to California. He designed a new range of die-cast model cars, which were released in 1968 as Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
Not expecting the models to be a success, he left Mattel in 1969 to start up his own company and also taught at the Art Center College of Design in Los Angeles.
He was a roamer, man. He couldn't keep him down.
Yeah.
He needed to get his designs all over the world. He was like Johnny Appleseed.
He just
with car
needed to
designs.
keep on rolling. Bradley was actually later would redesign the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile in 1995.
Of course he would. He was the one who made it look like a wiener.
Yeah.
Before it looked like an Oscar. Looked like this dude.
Just a guy driving an Oscar around.
Well, Oscar Mayer. Yeah, it was a fabrication
like,
of Oscar Mayer.
Right, like him, the actual guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked out his eyes.
And he was like head up and just forward. Yeah.
Guess what the stick shift was?
Oh God, I don't want to know.
Nope.
The first Hot Wheels car produced was the dark blue Custom Camaro. The other 15 were
Beatnik Bandit, Python, Custom Cougar, Custom Fleetside, Custom T-Bird, Custom Volkswagen, Custom Firebird, Custom Eldorado, Hot Heat, Ford J-Car, Custom Mustang Silhouette, Custom Barracuda, Custom Camaro, Custom Corvette, and the Diora.
Yeah, they were all I think all the custom ones is the ones that Bradley worked on.
Well, yeah, because they all had lift kits and blowers and
yeah.
different kinds of exhaust pipes, and they're all like
Yeah. And there were a couple that were like the Silhouette and the Ford J-Car were all not real cars. They were not like the Hot Heap. It was all stuff that you could have made if you suited your car.
Well, hot rods were pretty big back then too. That's like the Hot Heap where they took old, they took Model Ts and different 30s cars and souped them up.
Oh, made them look so awesome.
Yeah. The best one of those, or probably the most famous one of those, is the Munster Mobile.
Yes.
From the Munsters.
Yeah, exactly. Hot Wheels were designed as a 1:64 scale diecast car that were modeled after actual full-size vehicles, including the customized models. In addition to the cars themselves, Mattel produced a racing track set.
Sold separately.
Which you could use to beat people with, apparently.
Oh, they were the best, man. Whipping people. Oh, everybody. In the 1970s, you knew who had Hot Wheels from who had like those strap bruises on their bodies. It was like a perfect replication of the track, just a big red slap mark from slapping. Slap happy. We were slap happy, Adam.
Though it would be updated throughout the years, the original track consisted of a series of bright orange road sections pieced together to form an oblong circular racetrack with one or sometimes two superchargers.
Superchargers, yeah.
Faux service stations through which cars passed on the tracks, featuring battery-powered spinning wheels which would propel the cars forward, giving them lots of speed.
Oh, yeah. Those tracks were so much fun. You could make loop-to-loops and hoop-to-hoops.
Well, this is what made it what essentially set it apart from Matchbox. It was like they were designed to race. And it was brilliant. I mean, that was the first thing you do is like, yeah, I'm going to go race my cars against my friend.
Well, that's the thing. That's what you nailed right there with my friend. Because this, most other toys, G.I. Joe, whatever, it's solitary kind of stuff. You play with your dolls or you play with your Matchbox cars. And with the Matchbox cars, you'd line them up or, you drive them around and I'm going to church. But when Hot Wheels came around with the tracks and the racing, this was like slot cars.
Yeah.
But without,
exactly.
But you could bring your own cars,
Yeah,
I remember having the wheel-shaped case.
Oh, yeah.
The Hot Wheels case that you kept all your Hot Wheels in, and you and your buddies would race your wheels, sometimes for pinks.
Yeah.
It was sad when you lost your favorites.
That's true. Hot Wheels' use of wide, hard plastic tires created much less friction and tracked more smoothly than the narrow metal or plastic wheels used on contemporary Matchboxes. Hot Wheels cars were designed to roll easily in high speeds, which was a great innovation at the time.
Oh, yeah.
The Hot Wheels brand was a staggering success.
They're also really fun to roll them around the kitchen and have your dog chase after them.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They would roll really well. Mm-hmm. I mean, not, beyond carpet. But other than that, it was like they'd just be everywhere. The series completely disrupted the industry for small die-cast car models from 1968 onwards, forcing the competition at Matchbox and elsewhere to completely rethink their concepts and to scramble to try to recover lost ground.
Oh, goodness gracious. Johnson, have you seen what Hot Wheels has done to the industry?
Wait, they can roll?
They can roll, and they have tracks. We have to completely rethink our entire model of doing things. Business model. Thank you, Johnson. I'm so flabbergasted I don't even know the words of my business.
When Mattel asked Bradley to come back due to the success of the toy line, Bradley recommended a good friend, Ira Guilford.
Yeah, I'm out. Hit up my buddy Ira. He's all right.
He did his thing. He was like, whatever. I get it. Guilford, who had just left Chrysler, quickly accepted the job of designing the next Hot Wheels models.
Would be fun.
Oh, yeah. Some of Hot Wheels' greatest cars, such as the Twin Mill and Split and Image, came from Ira Guilford's drawing board.
I had the Split and Image.
I remember it. very well. It looked like two long canoes stuck together on wheels.
Well, and the other one was basically the model for every Batmobile from like 1990 on.
Yeah. The Twin Mill was introduced in 1969 and was used to create the company's first full-scale replica car in 2001. It had two exposed motors on each side of the car. Yeah, this was the only car that was a ground-up design that wasn't a real car that they then turned into a real car.
Yeah, extremely impractical real car, by the way.
Of course. It's not something you drive your kids to school
But the great thing about it is most suburban men wanted it because it had separate cockpits and you wouldn't have to talk to your wife or mother-in-law.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, marriage sucks.
The success of the 1968 line was solidified and consolidated with the 1969 releases, with which Hot Wheels effectively established itself as the hottest brand of small toy car models in the USA.
Hot Wheels, hot of the hots.
Yes, that was the official motto.
Yep, that was their ad
Hot Wheels,
campaign.
hottest of the hots.
Hottest hot of the hots.
Hottest hots of the hot. Sorry,
Hottest hot of the hot. It was hard to say. That's why they abandoned it after 6 months.
Yeah. Split and Image, Torero, Turbofire, and Twin Mill were part of the Show and Go series and are the very first original in-house designs by Hot Wheels.
Show and Go.
Yeah. The initial prototypes of the Beach Bomb were faithful to the shape of a real VW Type 2 bus and had two surfboards sticking out the back window, in a nod to the VW's perceived association with the surfing community and the slang term for a person who spends much time surfing, a beach bum. During the fledgling Hot Wheels era, Mattel wanted to make sure that each of the cars could be used with any of the playsets and stunt track sets. Unfortunately, testing showed that this early version, now known among collectors as the rear loader beach bomb, or the RLBB,
Nerds.
it was too narrow to roll effectively on Hot Wheels tracks or be powered by the supercharger, and was too top-heavy to negotiate high-speed corners.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hot Wheels designers modified the casting, extending the side fenders to accommodate the track width, as well as providing a new place on the vehicle to store each of the plastic surfboards. The roof was also cut away and replaced by a full-length sunroof to lower the center of gravity. Nicknamed the side loader by collectors, this was the production version of the Beach Bomb, and probably the one that you had.
Yeah, I had a Beach Bomb.
Yeah. I remember it being, with the sunroof being much bigger. I do remember
Yeah,
that.
I just remember the surfboards.
I don't remember the surfboards, because I'm pretty sure the one I had was a hand-me-down, and the surfboards disappeared.
Probably. I don't know if they... Outside of California, they didn't allow kids to have surfboards on their cars.
No, I mean, I didn't understand.
Or Hawaii.
I mean,
California and Hawaii.
I grew up in Iowa, so it was like I didn't understand what a surfboard was.
Yeah, it came with a sack of corn that you threw in the back.
Yep. And your co-pilot Pig, he just hung out there.
Yep.
And, yeah. The rear loader Beach Bomb is widely considered the holy grail of serious Hot Wheels collectors. An unknown number were made as test subjects and given to employees. A regular production Beach Bomb right now may be worth up to $600 depending on the condition. Market prices on the rear loaders, however, have easily reached the five-figure plateau, ranging from $70,000 to $120,000.
Good Lord.
Yeah, the most expensive Hot Wheels car ever sold was at auction for $120,000.
Wow.
Crazy, little tiny car. There's actually one of the pink rear loaders is at the Peterson Museum down in by LACMA,
Nice.
down here in LA, and it's literally on a little Lazy Susan underneath glass, spinning around. It's really cool. A 30-minute Saturday morning cartoon series called Hot Wheels was broadcast on ABC from 1969 to 1971 under the primary sponsorship of Mattel Toys.
Mattel Toys brings you Hot Wheels.
The show took pains to stress that it was pro-safety, contrasting the safe and responsible behavior of the series' racing club protagonists with the reckless behavior of their rivals.
Hey guys, we're part of the Hot Wheels racing team. We always wear our seatbelts and our helmets, and we have a nutritious breakfast before every race. Our rivals, they don't eat breakfast, they don't use seatbelts, and they have never even owned a helmet.
The show was criticized by the FCC, which considered it a half-hour commercial for the toy cars.
Oh yeah, and that was that was nothing compared to what happened.
Oh, no. ABC contested the charge, saying that there was no prior commitment to Mattel and that Hot Wheels cars were never advertised during the program. The network was backed up by the National Association of Broadcasters, and the show remained on the ABC schedule for 2 seasons.
Nice.
They actually did have to mark it down. The FCC required stations to mark it down as a commercial rather than as a show. Like there's weird regulations when it comes to FCC and how much they can.
Well, they used to care. The FCC used to do its job.
I know.
And they were right about that.
Yeah.
Because it's basically the first time it was a half-hour commercial where the kids are like, buy me more cars.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing compared to the 80s when literally every cartoon was just in a commercial for a toy.
Or
Yeah.
a cereal or
Yeah.
something. I mean, it was like everything was a product.
Yeah. The Hot Wheels show starred Casey Kasem and Albert Brooks, among others.
We're driving Hot Wheels, and we have a very special dedication. Coming from you, from Deborah, in Buffalo, New York. Deborah says, please stop playing with all your Hot Wheels toys and pay attention to me, or I'm going to leave you. She says he neglects her every night, and she hasn't seen him in days. And if he doesn't come, she's going to leave him. So for you, Bob, from Deborah, here's I only wear my sunglasses at night.
I wear my sunglasses at night.
I like that you think that song came out in 1969. That's
Well, there was a different version. The original version came out in
the
69.
original version. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Sung by Roy Orbison. People don't know that.
Right. Who literally never took off his sunglasses.
I wear my sun.
Little did you know, Roy Orbison doesn't actually have eyes.
No, he does not. He has eyes at him. He just doesn't have eyelids.
God, that makes it worse.
Tell you.
Ah!
He always looks surprised.
1970 was a very successful year for Hot Wheels, so Mattel came up with a new advertising slogan. They changed it from, what was it called? Hotness?
Hot Wheels. Hottie. I don't know. I don't remember. It was so
now.
good.
It doesn't matter. They changed it to...
Go with the winner.
Yeah. 43.
Okay.
I know. 43 new cars appeared that year, including the Sizzlers and Heavyweights lines. Howard Rees, who worked with Ira Guilford, was tired of designing cars. He wanted to work on the major Matt Mason action figure toy lineup.
Who didn't?
Rees had a good friend by the name of Larry Wood, whom he worked with at Ford designing cars. When Wood found out about Hot Wheels at a party Rees was holding, Rees offered him the job of designing Hot Wheels models. Wood accepted, and by the end of the week, Wood was working at Mattel, where his first design was the Tri-Baby.
Oh, yeah, the Tri-Baby. Everybody remembers
Do you remember the Tri-Baby?
No.
The engine was in the back, and the hood/trunk would swing up, and you could look at the engine underneath.
Oh, I did. I do know the Tri-Baby.
Yeah. It was cool. Larry Wood retired in 2019 after 40 years of designing Hot Wheels cars. He was there for a long time.
40 years, apparently.
Yeah. Another designer, Paul Tam, joined Wood and Guilford. Tam's first design was the Whip Creamer.
Okay. That sounds like a porno.
It looks like
It sounds like a...
It's like a... I don't even know why it's called that, because it doesn't look anything like anything.
No, but Whip Creamer sounds like the worst porn actor name.
Yes, it is.
Starring Whip Creamer.
I'm sorry, it's Whip Creamer?
Whip Creamer.
Yeah, it's a weird-looking car. It looks like a spaceship on wheels. It's weird. Although I do
those weird blowers on the side.
I do remember it. I kind of remember it. Anyway. Tam continued to work for Mattel until 1973. Among the many fantastic designs Tam thought up for Hot Wheels, some of the collector's favorites include
Evil Weevil.
a Volkswagen Beetle with 2 engines,
Open Fire.
an AMC Gremlin with 6 wheels,
6-shooter.
another 6-wheeled car, and the rare
Double header.
co-designed with Larry Wood.
Larry Wood.
Yeah, that was the last car he designed was called Larry Wood.
Got Larry's Wood.
Okay.
No, it was a Woody. It was a station wagon.
right.
The wood paneling. You dirt man.
Paired with the whipped creamer quite well.
Larry's Wood. The Whipped Creamer. Starring in...
God. The year 1970 introduced the Snake and the Mongoose, a manufactured rivalry between 2 professional drag racers calling themselves the Snake and the Mongoose for the purposes of publicity.
That's ripping off Ricky Tikki Tavi, baby.
I do actually kind of remember Mongoose. Like, I think he still was doing drag racing in the 80s. My dad was big into
Yeah,
drag
there was a Mongoose
Yeah.
racing team thing.
Yeah, I think that was from him. This was notably drag racing's first major non-automotive corporate sponsor and the beginning of the NHRA's booming popularity with large budget teams and championships. 1970 also introduced the first Silver Series, which contained 3 silver-painted models, the Boss Hoss, the Heavy Chevy, and the King Cuda, which were only obtainable through a mail-in offer that included a membership to the Hot Wheels Club.
Okay.
You weren't a member of the Hot Wheels Club?
Not in 1970, pal. I was a baby.
I don't know. I think you like cars, you know. These 3 cars featured supercharged engines featuring large roots blowers without hoods and open exhaust headers after the style of drag racing cars of the era.
Ouch.
Okay. Popular among children, these silver cars were considered faster than the rest of the Hot Wheels lineup because they were supposedly heavier than the other gravity models, but the accuracy of this claim has never been tested under scientific conditions.
Until now. Adam and I did 75 hours of research, and what we found is nothing.
I would assume they would be faster.
Why? No, they're probably not.
heavier.
Because they're silver.
Because they're heavier. You know. However, 1972 and 1973 were slow years. Only 7 new models were made in 1972. Of the 24 models appearing...
You know why? Gas crisis.
Possibly.
Couldn't get gas for your Hot Wheels.
Okay.
Your dad was like, can't get you gas. Your Hot Wheels, look, buddy, those are even numbers on your license plate. Can't get you gas today. That's tomorrow.
Of the 24 models appearing for 1973, only 3 were new models. Also, the cars changed from Mattel's in-house Spectra Flame colors to mostly drab, solid enamel colors, which mainstream Hot Wheels cars still use today. Due to low sales and the fact that the majority of the castings were not reused in later years, the 1972 to 73 models are known to be very collectible.
Okay.
In 1974, Hot Wheels introduced its Flying Colors line and added flashy decals and tampo-printed paint designs, which helped revitalize sales.
Yeah, everybody loved decals.
Oh, yeah.
Remember decals? You have to like wet them and put. Ugh, it's such a pain in the butt.
It was.
Kids today don't realize how you just take your toy out of the box and you play with it. We had to put our everything together. I was just remembering about having the Death Star playset. And the amount of stickers you had to put on that damn thing before you even played with it.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell. There was nothing. There was no instructions for where the stickers go. It's just you had to look at the box and just kind of figure it out. Yeah. We didn't have anybody holding our hands.
Oh, my God, old man. All right. As with the lower friction wheels in 1968, this innovation of the flashy decals and tampo-printed paint designs were revolutionary in the industry, and although far less effective in terms of sales impact than in 1968, was copied by the competition, who did not want to be outmaneuvered again by Mattel product strategists.
Too bad, baby, because they're going to outmaneuver you all the time. Because they're hot. Hot Wheels. Super hot.
Super hot. Also in 1974, an investigation found Mattel guilty of issuing false and misleading financial reports, which led to the banishing of Elliot and Ruth Handler from the company they had founded.
Not the L of Mattel.
Yeah.
Now it's just Matt.
No, he's not there either.
Now it's just...
Yeah, exactly. They did eventually. He kind of won favor back with Mattel. They both lived to be in their 90s, so they did like a 50th anniversary with him before he died.
Did the great-granddaughter Chelsea Handler design any cars?
No, she just had a TV show.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's funny.
In 1977, the Redline wheel was phased out, with the red lines no longer being printed on the wheels.
No.
Yeah, well, it cut costs, but also reflected that the prototypical Redline tires popular on high-speed rated automotive tires during the era of muscle cars and polyglass tires were no longer popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just following trends.
Yeah.
During this period, there was a trend away from wild hot rods and fantastic cars and a move to more realistic cars and trucks like the competitor Matchbox. Collectors are rabid about Hot Wheels, with the largest collection priced at $1.8 million.
Good Lord.
Yeah, there's a video online if you ever want to watch. It is insane. The guy has like 1 million Hot Wheels cars. It's crazy. In 1997, Mattel would end up buying Matchbox and folding it into the Hot Wheels line. Apparently the Matchbox and Hot Wheels collectors fought a lot. Like
Really?
It was a big thing.
Wait, hold on, Adam. Hold the phone. You're telling me that two collectors of two rival products did not get along with each other? I mean, the Star Trek and the Star Wars fans are best friends all the time. You're telling me a lie.
It's absolutely ridiculous. When they bought Hot Wheels, bought Matchbox, the Matchbox collectors freaked out.
Of course.
And were like, oh my God, it's all going to be ruined.
Was it?
No. I don't know.
They're toys.
I know. But look, I understand. It's important to them.
Sure.
If somebody was to make fun of you for liking video games, you'd be upset about it too.
Yeah, and look, if all of a sudden Star Wars absorbed Star Trek, the people would lose their minds.
Or the other way around.
Oh,
you
that
would
could never
lose your
happen.
mind.
That could never.
Oh, see?
That's blasphemy.
It's these guys are weird, but like whatever, man.
Everybody's got their obsessions.
They got their little peccadillos. It happens. On January 30th, 2003, Columbia Pictures announced that they had gained exclusive rights to developing a feature film based on the toy line Hot Wheels, with Mick G attached to direct.
That is the most 2003 sentence that you could have spoken today.
Although unwritten, the premise involved a young man
trying to reconcile with his father. It's a kid who steals his dad's race car and ends up going through a sort of Back to the Future portal into this world, and he has to reconcile his relationship with his father. Because most writers in Hollywood have really bad relationships with the daddies, and they're always trying to work it out on screen.
That's very true. In 2006, McGee said that he dropped out as director and chose to produce instead.
Yeah. Well, he was had his hands in everything for a while. He was TV, and,
I think
and I'm not. Yeah. He was great. I mean, he did a really good job with the reboot of Charlie's Angels, and he was a really fun director.
Yeah. He had some fun movies. I mean, it's nothing that would wasn't rewriting the world or anything.
No, but he knew how to make a good popcorn flick.
I think that was the thing, is that he was trying to become more executive and get into higher rankings and stuff. But,
Yeah, I mean, look, if anybody could have made a decent Hot Wheels movie, McGee would do it.
Yeah,
Give
yeah.
it to him or whoever the Fast and Furious freaks are.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, irony is that eventually Justin Lin would be tapped to try the rights to the Hot Wheels pictures. It was much longer, and I cut all of it out. But they went back and forth between Mattel and Warner Brothers and like all these places. There was like 5 different directors attached over like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like Justin Lin was one of them. He did a bunch. He did all the most recent Fast and Furious movies and a bunch in early on.
They should have just made an animated movie.
They did, actually. They eventually did just do an animated movie.
Good, because it's a toy. It's just like using a popular product name and making a movie that has really nothing to do with it. I mean, you could make any car movie and call it Hot Wheels. All you got to do is like make all the tracks orange, and then there you go.
Sure, the road is orange. It must be Hot Wheels.
They'll have weird blowers. And
then they pick up the ground and they just smack each other with it.
Exactly. That would be my Hot Wheels movie. It'd be like 2 minutes of driving and then an hour and a half of sword fights.
Weird bendy sword fights.
I always knew parents always knew when they were playing Hot Wheels because kids would come back with them swatched red marks all over them.
Kids scream from the room next door.
Playing Hot Wheels again.
You just made me think of Battleship as a perfect example of that.
Yes.
Of it has nothing to do with anything with the game.
Except I think at one point they say, "You shake my battleship."
God. I honestly don't think I've ever actually seen the movie Battleship.
I might have, but I don't really remember.
I think it had to do with aliens, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And
wasn't Josh Hartnett in it? Or am I thinking of...
No.
No,
think
Liam Neeson was in it.
There was a lot of people in it.
I think
shouldn't have been in it.
I always confuse it with the Pearl Harbor movie that came out with...
Pearl Harbor?
Yeah. Yes.
The one with
Ben Affleck and...
Yeah, that was a real stinkeroo, too.
Yeah, that was not very good. Ugh. But I think Josh Hartnett was in that one. Maybe. I don't know.
Might have been in both.
I don't know.
Josh Hartnett did a lot of work back then.
He did.
I like Josh Hartnett.
I do too.
We need more Josh Hartnett.
I agree.
Let's make a Hot Wheels movie and star Josh Hartnett.
That would be great. On April 25th, 2022, it was announced that Bad Robot Productions will produce the movie. It's going to be made, apparently. J.J. Abrams, I don't think he's going to direct it, but there will be a Hot Wheels movie.
And it's probably going to blow.
I don't anticipate it being good.
Unless it has something to do with the toys. If they make like a stupid Fast and Furious movie and call it the Hot Wheels movie, then they can just die.
If it was more like the Lego movie.
Yes. Or it has some like, okay, here's my pitch right off the cuff of my brain, and I bet you it's going to be better than this movie. Okay, so there's this father and his 2 sons. I'm going to say 2 sons because it's usually just one. Let's make it a father and a son and a daughter. Let's open it up. And the father is a race car driver, and he's always away from home, and the kids never get to see him. And he always brings them back Hot Wheels when he goes on his tour or whatever, for the races. And so they have this really great Hot Wheels collection, and he's always promising to play with them. And he's like, I can't play with you right now. I got another race to go on. The kids are like, oh, Dad. And he's like, sorry, kids, here's another Hot Wheels. And so one night, they get the special Hot Wheel. The one that's rarer than any other Hot Wheel, and it starts glowing, and they get to make a wish upon this Hot Wheel, and they wish for their dad to play Hot Wheels with them. But what they don't know is it shrinks them all down, and so they have to play Hot Wheels in the real Hot Wheels, and they got to find a way to get back up, so Dad can win the race. Yeah. And Dad's got to get to the race, so it's all this, everybody's tense and freaking out. But you know what? The dad ends up having such a good time playing Hot Wheels with his kids. But he retires from racing, and that's when they get big again.
Just a small addendum.
Okay,
I like it a lot. One note.
Yeah,
he needs to win the race as the Hot Wheel, racing the real cars. He wins as the tiny little Hot Wheel.
Yeah, because or the kids win the race.
Yeah, there you go.
The dad can't.
There you go.
So
the son does. The girl will be playing with her Barbies.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay. But, I mean, look, that's the kind of movie you make. You don't make, Roddy Hot Wheel, greatest driver in the history of driving.
They have been trying to make movies out of racing games for years.
Yeah.
And there is no plot.
No. Race movies in general are difficult.
Yeah.
Because they're, like, the one that... the Ford versus Ferrari, was good because it's a really good.
It had two really interesting characters.
Yes, played by two very good actors.
Yeah.
But Talladega Nights was good because it was silly.
It was comedy.
It was stupid.
It made fun of racing.
What's that? Orange Thunder. What's that? The robot guy. Tom Cruise. What's it?
Tropic Thunder?
Golden Thunder or something Thunder?
Oh, no. Thunder Road.
No,
Thunder Alley?
Something. But we don't remember it because that was a stupid car movie that nobody remembers.
Nights? Oh my God, what the hell is that called?
It's called Dumb Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. Yes. See? That's how people don't give a crap about racing movies. We couldn't even remember that. And that's Tom Cruise.
I remember, my dad loved that movie, so I remember, kind of. But I remember watching that movie a lot when I was younger. Robert Duvall was amazing in that movie.
Robert Duvall is always amazing.
That is true.
He's the great Santini.
He is. But to piggyback on your wonderful idea of the tiny little people in the Hot Wheels cars, have you been playing Hot Wheels Unleashed?
No, I did try it, and it was fun, and I will play it more. But
Hot Wheels Unleashed was part of the free PlayStation Plus. When you sign up for the PlayStation Plus, they give you free games every month, and one of them was Hot Wheels Unleashed.
This month, right?
I believe it was this month. Either this month or last month. It might have been this month. But, it would have been November. Yeah. But the thing is that you play as the Hot Wheels cars on an orange track in actual, living rooms and bedrooms and, garages. And, it is literally like you're 5 years old playing with your Hot Wheels.
Yeah, except you can't pick up the track and beat your friends with it. That's the only thing that's unrealistic about that game.
There's DLC coming.
Oh, yeah, called the Thwack DLC.
Surprisingly, there have been over 30 Hot Wheels video games released since the first one for the Commodore 64 in 1984.
Of course. I mean, it lends itself.
And actually a bunch of DLC for the Gran Turismo games. There's just so much.
Kids love cars and trucks. There is a I think genetically there's a genetic predisposition for little boys and some girls, but mostly little boys, to love trucks and cars and construction trucks. That's why there's Bob the Builder. Yeah. That's why there's cars. That's why there's
it's
all of this stuff, because cars are just, because you crash your cars. I don't know. There's just something about your cars when you're a kid, and you got your little cars and you park them and you put them and you race them and you collect them and you get the car. I remember how excited I was to get the Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, the
Trans Am.
Trans Am, yeah.
I don't know if that was Matchbox or Hot Wheels. Probably Hot Wheels, because they did more of the movie tie-ins.
I feel like that was more.
And the Batmobile. They had the Batmobile with the little plastic siren, and
the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
They were great.
Yeah, they were great. And you had the Munsters mobile. You had all sorts of stuff. And then they had that one thing that was this big, that was the car carrier, that you could put the car in the back and had that yellow opaque glass to it.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's just it had garages. You could create your own little world.
Yeah.
It wasn't just tracks and stuff. It had little play sets and car washes and all sorts of stuff.
It was, cityscapes that you could drive around and all this stuff. I think a lot of it is the fact that America is a car culture.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, cars took over. It was a big thing in America starting in the, late 50s.
But this had a big thing to do with it, because this created the kind of cars that people were creating. The goofy, crazy, jacked up, crazy blowers.
It was
hot rods.
The imagination, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think kids growing up with all these cars, they wanted to create their version of a Hot Wheel. They wanted, because every generation, they're car kids. They're kids that are modifying their cars.
I think it's the easiest way as a young child to feel more adult. Is that, hey, Dad's driving the car, so I'm going to have my own cars.
Exactly. And then you get to the age where you want to build your own Hot Wheel.
Yeah.
And then you do all that weird stuff. Make your Fast and Furious car.
There have been a number of Hot Wheels computer-animated TV shows and straight-to-video movies since 2003. They did I think it was called Hot Wheels World Race, and it spawned a bunch of TV shows and direct-to-video movies.
Sure.
Since 1968, over 4 billion Hot Wheels have been produced. It's 4 billion with a B. It's a lot of Hot Wheels. In 1968, they cost $1. And do you know how much they go for today?
$500.
No, they are $1.29.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
I remember growing up in the 80s, they were like $1.09.
Yeah.
I think they were marked up a little bit so that the department store could make money. But like, it's crazy to think that for 55 years, price has not gone up very much.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, manufacturing them probably costs like 20 cents or 10 cents.
Yeah.
They have the whole thing down now. But that's great. I mean, you used to be able to pick up crap. Like, when you were buying your Star Wars guys, those were like $1.50 a piece.
Yeah.
They didn't gouge you. Once you got the big play sets and stuff, then you're getting them to the $50-$60. It's like, oof.
Yeah.
But, and same thing with like, some of the Hot Wheels play sets were pretty, they were always under $20.
Yeah, they were affordable.
And they always worked together.
Yeah.
So you could build upon, it was like Legos almost,
Yeah.
when you could build your own Lego village by having the post office and this and that. But you could buy the car wash and the gas station and the post. You could create your own Hot Wheels little universe there and race with your buds and then beat the crap out of each other.
I want to say I'm pretty sure that because I never had the tracks and stuff. I always had the cars, but I never had the tracks and stuff. But at my grandmother's house, they definitely had. Because my youngest uncle is like only 9 years older than me.
Oh.
So like he had Hot Wheels, man. Like he had some stuff. I'm sure original stuff. But yeah, with cousins, man, smacking each other with those. I always hated it. I hated it, Jim.
Well, everybody hated it. It didn't feel good.
Triggering lots of weird memories, Jim.
Well, sorry you got bullied by your Hot Wheels cousins.
Yeah.
But
it's fun.
It's okay, Adam.
They were great. Hot Wheels were fun. I loved the idea of the imagination, like being able to be like, yeah, this is what we could do. Like, let's just do it.
I was a mostly solitary player as a child. Like, I liked my Legos. I liked my Star Wars guys. I liked making my own little adventures. But my Hot Wheels, or Matchbox, but mostly Hot Wheels, those were my hang out with your friends car. It's like we would play crap like marbles. You'd have a sack of really cool marbles and you'd play that. And sometimes you lose your marbles and sometimes now I'm losing my marbles every day. But same thing with your we would play things where you could lose your stuff or gain your stuff or trade your stuff.
Compete. Yeah.
And it was fun. And it was fun to race against your pals. And, it's, I think, in terms of collecting stuff too, it's if you have a significant other or something who's a collector, this is a good thing to collect because they're small and they're going to take up a lot of space.
They can be hidden away when neighbors come over.
Yeah. It's not, it's not like, collecting dogs playing poker paintings or,
I've got one room full of
that's what Adam collects. Yeah.
Velvet Elvises.
Yeah, like your Velvet Elvis collection. Yeah. It's it's not obtrusive.
No, and it's not. I mean, it's an innocuous, very easy collection. I mean,
and honestly, tell me this, because I have done this. I have gone to the grocery store and seen the pile of Hot Wheels for $1 on sale.
There's a giant barrel right now at the grocery store up from us that has
I've grabbed
Hot Wheels. $1.29 Hot Wheels.
And
just
people bring them sometimes. We have a couple of Hot Wheels that people brought over at parties, some food truck or something and something else. So people are still buying them. Hot Wheels are great. It's just one of those toys that helped. It not only it's one of those toys that not only kind of shaped a generation, but shaped our car culture too.
Yeah.
Which made people more akin to, aftermarket souping up their cars kind of stuff. I think it really changed the way people, kids grew up with these really cool little cars and they wanted to have them as adults. They wanted the same cool car.
Right. It would definitely, up to this point in 1968 when they came out, hot rodding was kind of a weird subculture, and it was like, oh man, you're doing that, it's weird. And Hot Wheels changed all that, man.
Yeah, normalized it.
Yeah, mainstreamed all of that, and it was great. I mean, they were just super fun to play with.
Still are today, and they haven't changed much in 50 years.
No,
they haven't changed. It's still made out of metal.
Yeah,
and you can still buy the tracks. you know, if you got kids, if you don't got kids, get yourself some Hot Wheels. Have some fun. It's also something that, you know, it's fun to have around the holidays. You could set up a track around your Christmas tree. You know, a lot of people put train tracks and stuff around their Christmas trees. I say put a Hot Wheels track around your Christmas tree, something with loop-de-loops and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and they're going around. I think it'd be fun.
And then when your roommate or your significant other doesn't give you what you want, you tear that track apart and you thwack them.
Oh, you beat them senseless. All right. Well, that's our first toys story. Good story.
Yeah, it was fun.
A toy that we both played with. So we got another one coming up. A big game changer.
Yeah.
That made it easier when people threw stuff at your face. Didn't hurt as much. Another thing that helped with bullies.
Oh, got a fun story about that, Jim.
Yeah. Nerf.
Nerf is great. Yeah, it has a weird origin.
Yeah, you're a Nerf herder.
Yeah, I'm a fuzzy Nerf herder.
Yeah, you are.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.
Whoop. Me, Hot Wheels.
May 18th, Mattel's Hot Wheels. Woo.
Johnson, come in here. Johnson, have you seen what Matchbox has done to the industry?
You know, Hot Wheels.
Johnson. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Super Friends, already in progress.